Hey sweethearts, thank you for tuning in today, and I just want to discuss some of the things going on Game of Thrones right now with you guys really quick. Just a few observations I've made, a couple predictions about some things that might happen. But before I get into all of that, I want to say thank you so much guys for tuning into my channel, for subscribing, and for commenting and being a part of the discussion with me. That's really the main reason why I started making these videos, is because I want to discuss the show with you guys. I am not a Game of Thrones expert, okay? And I'm not just saying that to be modest, I'm saying that because it is the truth. There are some things where I would just flat out say, I know everything about it, I am all a part of it. Like, I have read the books, seen the movies, read the books about the books, read the books about the authors, have followed it for years. There are some universes, fantasies and novels and things like that that I am completely into that way. And Game of Thrones is not one of them yet. I have just started with this show, guys. A friend recommended it to me not too long ago. And the moment I started looking at it, I couldn't put it down. I binge watched every season on HBO Go like a few months back, but I have not gotten into the books yet. So that is why I ask you guys questions, because y'all are so freaking smart. Y'all have so many amazing ideas and theories, and I'm just like mind blown when I talk to y'all. So thank you to everybody that participates in discussions, that puts their opinions in the comments, that gives me new information I may not have had or known, that catches things that I don't necessarily always catch. Like, I love you guys so much. Thank you. So let's get into this video now. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss with you guys is the possible fate of Rickon Stark. So if you are not caught up with season 6 right now, do yourself a favor and like pause, go watch that, then come back, because spoilers are coming. Have you done that? Alright, well, let's do this. Let's talk about it. So if you are caught up, you know that Rickon has been captured by Ramsay. He is in Ramsay's dungeon. Ramsay is pretty much holding him ransom until Jon returns Sansa to Winterfell. And we all know how psychotic Ramsay is. Yeah, just ask Theon. So the questions that everybody is pretty much, if you're like me, that you're pretty much thinking right now is, what will happen to Rickon? Will he become wreaked out, which means pretty much tortured, and to the point of complete and total submission, to where he isn't dead physically, but mentally and emotionally is just gone and dead? Will he just be fed to Ramsay's dogs? Will he somehow, which was my favorite thought, find a way to kill Ramsay to actually work from the inside of Winterfell and help his sister and his brother take it back, take their home back somehow? Will he somehow muster up the strength and be the one to, kill Ramsay, or to somehow help in this whole war that's coming? I would like to say that I don't think he'll be tortured, because he's a valuable asset for Ramsay right now, because he's Ramsay's only bargaining chip. But Ramsay's fucking crazy, and I think we've pretty much figured out that sometimes he just don't give a shit and will just torture you no matter how important you are. He just isn't the character that doesn't always seem to be a character who thinks about the politics of stuff. He just seems more so to be out for blood, vengeance, psychotic, crazy dude. But with all that being said, exactly what will Rickon's fate be? Death or life? And to answer that, I want to go to a theory that is out there that I was reading up on. I thought it was really, really interesting, and it's pretty much the 7 gods and 7 Starks theory. I'm sure some of you already know about this, but in case you don't, I'll give you a quick rundown. It pretty much goes like this: that the 7 gods that the people in the north mainly worship is also symbols for the 7 Starks. For example, the first god is the father, and this god represents honor and justice, and that is pretty much Ned Stark. Ned was all about his honor. He was all about being just and fair, and that God is pretty much a representation of his character. And the mother, which represents compassion and nourishment, and being a nurturing type person. Not nourishment. Being a nurturing type person, sorry. Being a protector of children, just things like that, which pretty much represent Catelyn Stark, you know, the mother of the clan. I think the next one is the warrior, which represents pretty much battle, being undefeated in battle, just what it sounds like, a soldier, a warrior, which is pretty much Robb Stark. Now, Robb was killed, but we all know he was not killed in a battle. When it came to battle, he was really great. He was pretty much undefeated. They didn't defeat him until they bitched up and betrayed him and just slaughtered him and assassinated him, but he was not defeated on a battlefield. So he was pretty much a representation of a warrior. I think the next one they had was like the maiden, represents innocence, virginity, youth, young love, pretty much Sansa Stark. You have the stranger, which represents death and the unknown, and that can easily go for Arya. She had that list for the longest of people that she wanted to kill. She was obsessed with death, bringing death to people, and now she's off doing her assassin training and learning how to become, well, no one, and pretty much be a stranger, be the unknown. And then you have, I think it's the crone, I think that's right, which represents knowledge, wisdom, foreseeing into the future, just great vision. Bran, okay? Bran can ward, go to the past, learn things that others may not know, gain all this knowledge. And the last one is the smith, and that is the one that is the only one left, so people pretty much gave it to Bran. And the smith represents building, craftsmanship, rebuilding something. So I guess you could look at it and say, well, does that mean that Rickon is going to be someone who rebuilds Winterfell? And when I first heard that, I was like, well, dang, before he got captured, I was like, okay, so that means Rickon will probably survive in the story and will help them rebuild Winterfell, you know, when the time comes. Now that he's captured, I think it means something completely different. And I'm sorry to say, I think it means that, I don't think necessarily means it means he's safe, you know. I think that has already been pretty much fulfilled in his character. Him getting captured in itself has already sparked the catalyst that is allowing Sansa and Jon to unite with each other and to try and begin to unite an army to go against Ramsay and take Winterfell back. So just him getting captured has already started a possible rebuilding of Winterfell. But I think and I hope that his character also carries more importance than just getting captured. But he may become an essential role even more so than just getting captured. Maybe somehow, like I said, he'll work from the inside, somehow get a couple of the servants that are inside the place. You know, not everybody likes Ramsay. Everybody's just fucking scared of Ramsay. So maybe he will be the one to mobilize them to somehow find a way to carry messages to Sansa and Jon when he figures out what's going on, or to maybe from the inside he will also try and help take it down, and in that process help rebuild Winterfell. But guys, I don't think he's going to live, and I'm going to tell you why. And here's where I need you guys to let me know if this is a possibility, if it's different in the books, if this isn't a possibility. Why do you think this is something that I could link this to or make an assumption based off of, or why you don't think it isn't? And the reason why I don't think he's going to live is because of the wolves. And here's what I mean by that. I feel like, based off what I've seen in the show, the wolves represent more than just, you know, cool pets that the Starks have. I feel like everybody's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like everybody's wolf somehow represents the possible fate or a major event that is going to occur in their, you know, owner's life. For example, Sansa, her wolf, I think, was the first one to die, and he pretty much was unjustly killed because that wolf didn't do anything wrong. It was just that Arya's wolf was gone, so they had to kill Sansa's wolf after Joffrey was bitten. Joffrey, and his infinite anger and immaturity and complete and total power craziness self, decided that it would be best to kill the animal that bit him, even though he was in the wrong, even though that the wolf was right to probably bite his ass. He felt that he still deserved to die, and Sansa had to watch as something she loved was executed, in a manner of speaking. Had to just stand by and allow something that she loved be killed to please Joffrey. Well, we all know that later on in Sansa's story, she had to watch her father be killed at the hands of Joffrey after he became offended or pissed off at Ned Stark, and once again, in his craziness and in his power hungry, bloodthirsty, psychotic little way, was just ready to kill Ned Stark unjustly. Ned did nothing wrong. He died a dishonorable death, even though he was unjustly killed the same way Sansa's wolf was. Arya's wolf, as we all know, was actually saved, taken away, freed into the wild. We never heard from it again, never saw it again. It is just lost out there now. It's a stranger to everybody. See where I'm going with this? Arya was saved, taken away, freed off, wandered in the woods for a while until she, you know, ran into the whole going to the faceless god thing. But she's pretty much lost to her family. They don't know where she is. She's a stranger now. She hasn't been heard from by them since all of this madness has gone on. Robb's wolf was in the show. I heard in the book this was different, but in the show, Robb's wolf was put in a cage where he could not fight back, shot with an arrow, and killed in a very cowardice way. In this show, Robb was shot with an arrow, stabbed, surrounded in a place where he was pretty much tricked, I guess you could say like a cage, and killed in a very cowardice way. Jon Snow died, his wolf did not. Jon Snow didn't die. Okay, he was brought back. So pretty much everybody's wolves, I feel like, tell a story as to what lies in their fate or ahead for them. And as we already saw, Rickon's wolf was killed. So based off of that, based off the whole thing that Rickon is supposed to be something that helps rebuild Winterfell, I feel like he will help rebuild Winterfell, but he will not be there to enjoy it, and maybe his death will make him a martyr for the entire North to immobilize behind Jon and Sansa. Maybe his death, the death of this young boy, will infuriate the people even more to the point where they're like, fuck this, we're taking this guy out, and in that way he will help rebuild Winterfell. Next thing I want to talk about is the HighSparrow, because y'all are the bomb.com, okay? My last reaction video, I had to stop in the middle of my reaction and go on a rant, because for the life of me, I could not understand why we were dealing with this dude who just walks around dressed like Dobby from Harry Potter on a regular basis. I was like, why the fuck are we scared to kill this guy? Y'all let his sister know what was up, and I was so happy, okay? I had already understood that they weren't invading because of Marjorie, but I didn't really get why that was such a big deal at first, because I felt like, okay, Cersei wanted this girl imprisoned. She put this dude in power just for that. Why would she care now all of a sudden to not kill her? She wanted to get rid of her. Somebody nicely explained in my comments that something I completely forgot about. Around season 4, it was explained that Tywin's gold mines were running out. The Lannisters were low on money, and they needed the Tyrells for their resources and for their capital or whatever. And so that's an alliance that was still needs to be saved. So killing Marjorie and her brother, or allowing them to die, or raiding it in spite of them possibly dying, will pretty much fuck that up. So that's one reason why they're treading lightly. Another reason, somebody went into detail about how in the book is even more in detail about just how much power Cersei gave this motherfucker. Okay, he has a military. He's not a branch of the government. He's pretty much the equivalent of the Pope. And the way the Pope used to be, as in the power the Pope used to have when it came to England, you know the back in the day type Pope who had a military of his own, stuff like that. He's pretty much that guy now. And the peasants are pretty much fucking sick of the government and have pretty much immobilized behind the High Sparrow and are pretty much ready to do whatever he says. So if they try to invade or kill him or go in, those people are going to rise up too, and they're going to have to deal with them as well. So I was like, okay. The way you guys explained it with all the reasons you guys gave, I was like, okay, well, now that makes a lot of sense. So thank you, y'all, so much, because that was just irking my nerves. Whew. That being said, one more question for that is, how will this whole thing get resolved? Who do you think will get killed in this plan they've put together? Because I think I only looked at last week's episode once. And that was the time I did the reaction video too. I need to go back and look at it again. But I think what they pretty much were planning to do was, once Marjorie is about to make her walk, the Tyrell army is going to somehow try to go in, I guess, and finally end all this. But somebody put something in the comments that really stood out to me, and that was that Marjorie was loved. I forgot about that too. Marjorie was not like Cersei. She went out and talked to the people, tried to feed the poor. She was the people's queen in a sort of way. So the question is, if she does the walk, will she even be treated the way Cersei was? And once the people see that they have her too, will that then put a little bit of doubt within their minds about just how sane following the High Sparrow will be? Will that then create a divide between the High Sparrow and the peasants? That'll be something interesting to see. And another thing I was thinking about when thinking about what the fatalities may be based off of what I've seen in the show so far, I feel like Tommen is probably up there. And I know you're probably thinking, he's the king, like he shouldn't even be down there in the battle. And that's the only thing I'm struggling with. I would hope that they would have him locked in the castle somewhere safe. But the reason why Tommen's death came up, of course, is because of the Maggie the Frog vision that Cersei has been running from her whole life. But another reason why that came up to me is, at this point, Cersei has pretty much spent her whole life trying to stop that prophecy from happening. And in the process, from what I'm observing based off the show, all her efforts to stop it have pretty much been the things that caused the prophecy to happen. For example, really quick rundown with it, all the way back to Ned Stark, okay? When he found out that her children belonged to her brother, I think maybe in her mind that he was the thing that was going to cause possibly the death of her children. Because if you would have told this to Robert Baratheon, of course they would have been killed. And maybe part of the reason why she, was doing what she was doing to him was to stop that. And the reason why she killed Robert, of course, was to stop that. But I think a lot of it also had to do with her just wanting power. And wanting power for her children. Wanting to make sure they had their gold crowns. And in so doing, she pretty much sealed their fate to have gold shrouds. Once upon a time, Joffrey was to be with Sansa. But then once she allowed Ned to be persecuted, and then her son killed him, Sansa's union with Joffrey was just obsolete. It wasn't possible anymore. Robb rose up, that union just had no value once Ned was dead. Once the matriarch of that particular family of the North was dead, and once Robb was dead, that had no meaning. So Joffrey had to marry Marjorie Tyrell. They needed their resources. They needed from somewhere. Like I said earlier, like somebody pointed out to me, they were going broke, the family. Not necessarily broke, but they didn't have as much money as they used to have. Once that happened, we all know who killed Joffrey. So strike one, Joffrey died because Marjorie's grandmother, along with Littlefinger, did it pretty much. Fast forward on over, she spent her whole life, I think, pretty much hating Tyrion because she's convinced he's the Valonqar from that vision. If you look at the show, they don't talk about the Valonqar, but I have seen it. I've heard about it from book readers. It's pretty much part of the vision told that Cersei would be killed pretty much by the Valonqar, which is just High Valyrian for little brother. So I think her whole life she pretty much fucking hated him because she was convinced that he was going to be the one who killed her. And so treated him bad, allowed her son to treat him bad, and when he died, I already had a preconceived notion that he was the one who killed her son, which would lead to him being persecuted, him asking for a trial by combat, and for Oberyn Martell to step in his place. Oberyn gets killed, and Sand Snake bitches get pissed off, poison her fucking daughter, kill her, strike two. The third thing, the prophecy told about a younger queen that would dethrone her, take everything that she loves, and I think she assumes that this is Marjorie Tyrell, so she comes up with this fucking plan to get this girl locked away, and in the process creates this entire fucking HighSparrow problem, which in my opinion will probably lead to the death of her third kid. I feel like every time she tries to stop something, she fucking causes something. And she's probably caused the person that's going to kill her to want to kill her some kind of way. We don't know who that is yet, but she's probably done that too. So based off of that, that's just pretty much what I think is going to happen with the HighSparrow situation. I don't know how the war will go out, but I pretty much feel like the plan isn't going to go exactly how they have it planned out. There will be fatalities, and I feel like Tommen may be one of those fatalities because as with everything else, something Cersei does leads to a chain of events that leads to the death of her children, and I think this may be the chain of events that leads to the death of that last kid. If you have stuck around this long, thank you so much for hearing my thoughts on all of this stuff. Please do not forget to tune in today, because I'm gonna try to have this video up. It's already Sunday, like it's 5, what time is it? It's already Sunday. It's like 7:36 Sunday morning that I'm making this video. Lately my YouTube videos have been taking hours to upload, so you guys will probably be seeing this around 2 or 3 o'clock today. So make sure you tune in a little bit later on today, or let me take that back. Make sure you tune in. Like I said, my videos take hours to upload, so make sure you tune in tomorrow to see my reaction to tonight's episode. Don't forget to watch tonight's episode though, so you can see exactly how this stuff is going to start to unfold. If you, like I said, I am new to Game of Thrones, but if you are somebody who's also new and you want detailed discussions, I mean like that hardcore stuff from people who have read the books, who have seen the shows, who really know their stuff. They're not just giving you, because my stuff is just pretty much my thoughts. It's just my thoughts. It's not nothing written in stone. It's just how I see stuff, and I want to hear how you guys see it, so put that in the comments. But if you do want something that's probably a little bit more concrete, because these are channels, when I first started looking at Game of Thrones, that I fell in love with, and I have to give them a shout out because they do such amazing jobs. The first one is James of Thrones. Like, dude, you want detailed discussion, you go, they know their shit. Like, first video I saw on that channel was about Gendry possibly being Cersei's son, and it was the details that they put in that thing. I was like, oh my god, love this channel. And from their channel I learned about, I think it's Charlie Charlie and Westeros, fun about him. And for the 7 gods things that I talked about at the beginning of this video, that came from Kalina Reviews. I will put their names in my description so you guys can go check them out. They have amazing discussion, absolutely amazing. I think you guys should give them a look. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to put in the comments what you think of everything that's going on right now. What do you predict is going to happen to Rickon or to the HighSparrow situation or to Khaleesi or to anybody? You know, just give me your opinions, guys. I freaking love hearing from y'all. It makes my day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I promise I won't sing anymore if you subscribe. Bye.